I saw American Fiction the other night and I sort of liked it. I did like it, but there were a few things that were bugging me. I have a few quibbles.
Where's our representation?
Would you give us the pleasure of reading an excerpt?
Yo, Sharonda, girl, you be pregnant again? If I is, Ray Ray is gonna be a real father this time around. Thank you.
I reviewed the American Fiction trailer in an earlier video and shared my enthusiasm and my anticipation for the film. However, the trailer was not perhaps fully representative of the film. The story. Well, in fact, there are two stories. There's one story and then a subplot, but which is which, I'm unsure. So Monk, the lead character, is a writer of literary books. His sister suddenly dies of a heart attack that brings his mother and brother together for a funeral. The mother is developing dementia and is put in a home. Monk's cosmetic surgeon brother has recently come out from a failed marriage and also come out as a gay man. There are tensions within the family, in part as a result of the suicide of his father some years before. Meanwhile, the other story, Monk is the writer who has never really broken through. He writes literary novels and is frustrated with other writers who have, as he sees it, sold out and write the type of books that the mainstream publishing industry expects of so-called black writers, black voices writing black stories. In his frustration and on a whim, Monk writes a spoof book called My Pathology, later called under a pseudonym that his agent sells with ease. The white women publisher loves it, a film deal soon follows, and Monk is rich. He is invited onto a literary book award judging panel as an underrepresented minority member and ends up having to judge his own book, his spoof book, which eventually wins. Again, he is torn and does not really want the book to win.
They're offering $4 million for the movie rights.
Yes! The dumber I behave, the richer I get.
So he's in a quandary, he's torn. Does he want to be successful for a book he doesn't like? And should he reveal his identity? I would estimate the time spent on the two stories would be about 60% for the family story and about 40% of the time spent, or even less, on the book publishing storyline. But I found myself wanting more of the publishing storyline, which was, it seems, the subplot in the film in this instance. This is my quibble number one. The trailer was all about the book publishing storyline, so having watched the movie, I thought there was more meat on the bone to carve with regard to the book publishing subplot. The family storyline was fine, but it was nothing out of the ordinary, and there were some nice touches, but also a few tweaks to a few scenes would have been welcome. Quibble number two, the movie's ending was a bit confusing for me, and again I thought there was more meat to carve. The confusion arose from the filmmaker, American Fiction filmmaker, showing us 3 imagined scenarios of the book award ceremony. This was done by them being presented to the film producer as a reimagined ending of the commissioned Pathology film within the American Fiction film. The trouble was, what actually did happen at the book awards ceremony? As far as I could tell, we were never told or shown. So, did Monk reveal his identity to the world as the author of the book? If so, what happened? Was he celebrated by the publishing industry or was he criticised by it? What were the results of his actions? Did the publishing industry reflect on how it works, or was it business as usual? How did he come to terms with himself for selling out? This was the other meat that was left on the bone, the meat that could have been carved. If he revealed his identity as the author, how did it affect the relationships with his brother and girlfriend? A couple of other minor quibbles. Why did the film within a film's producer agree to change the ending of the film that had been based on a highly successful book? Secondly, I realised that his brother was gay, had come out as gay, but it seemed to be referenced in every scene that the brother was in, and it got a little bit tiresome. Why couldn't we learn about his life as a cosmetic surgeon, another form of American fiction? So in summary, acting was good, the film was pleasantly paced, and there's some really nice touches and observation, but these kinds of scenes were mostly from the book publishing story. I wanted more of that, more of the book publishing story, a pleasantly funny yet biting satire, but 'twas not to be. Anyway, I do recommend it. Check it out. I'll add the review of the trailer that I made to the end of this video. In the meantime, like, subscribe and all that rubbish.
Where's our representation?
Would you give us the pleasure of reading an excerpt?
Yo, Sharonda, girl, you be pregnant again? If I is, Ray Ray's gonna be a real father this time around. Thank you.
This looks really good. A quickie, a trailer review. An author who is black is trying to carve out a living with his book writing, but it does not look as if things are going well. His agent then suggests he write for the market, as defined by white people. He reluctantly gets sucked into a charade by writing a book by a black man. A black man as defined by a white woman. Commercial success follows, but at what cost to his soul?
You said you wanted black stuff. That's black, right?
The trailer is smart, witty, and deals with an issue that is currently contentious.
We sold your book.
No.
And cuts close to the bone. People, in this case black people, are supposed to act a certain way.
It's a joke.
The most lucrative joke you've ever told.
Now, is Stag a pseudonym?
Yeah.
Mr. Lee can't use his real name.
Is this based on your actual life?
The main offenders appear to be the white women of the publishing industry.
Yeah, you think some bitch-ass college boy can come up with that shit?
No, I don't.
Yo, Sharonda, you be pregnant again? If I is, Ray Ray's gonna be a real father this time around.
White women applauding black people for being black and opening up about their oppression.
Can I ask what you were in for? Was it murder?
You said that, not me.
The irony looks pretty delicious.
100,000 copies. Your books change people's lives.
They're offering $4 million for the movie rights.
Yes!
The dumber I behave, the richer I get.
And it's all held together by an excellent Jeffrey Wright, no doubt.
This has gone too far.
Stag Arley is still on the run from authorities.
You haven't done anything. It's not like they can arrest you.
Coming to a cinema near you late in 2023
Is it bad to cater to people's taste?
or early 2024.
There's already so much buzz because of the movie deal.
Michael B. Jordan is circulating.
We want to put him on the cover in one of those scarves, I guess you would call them, tied around his head.
A do-rag?
Do-rag, that's it. Do-rag and a tank top with the muscles showing.
Somebody call the fire department.
I'll be looking out for it.
We're thinking we can get it out in 100 Juneteenth.